All right. Hello, everybody, and happy Labor Day. It's a great day for the workforce of America, and thank you for all you do. So, welcome again to the Rock and Roll Geezers show. I'm your host, Murph, and before we move on, please subscribe on our YouTube channel, and maybe give a like or two to a video or two. It'd be very cool. It'd help us out and let us know you're out there. So again, I want to welcome my co-host, cohort in crime, Doc Box. How you doing today, Doc?
Doing quite well. Nice long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful weather out. Lots
Yeah.
going on in the world of rock and roll to talk about. Can't wait to get into it. But before
Mm.
we do, I just wanted yes, please, if you're watching us, please subscribe and help us and, trying to get the thing going. But I want us to give a sincere thank you to those that have subscribed.
Sure.
You guys make this worth doing. If we had no subscriptions, it would really be stupid us up here talking. So thank you so much for the support and the people that have encouraged us. And, hopefully we'll continue to hone our craft and,
Sure.
as my mic falls down. And we'll keep getting better and give you guys something to listen to. So,
Yeah.
can't wait to get to what's going on this week,
Oh,
man.
for crying out loud! Well, of course, yesterday they had the first of two tribute concerts to Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins. And man, what a shebang! It's wow. It's
Yeah.
almost like a Live Aid type of deal. Just monstrous
Right.
amount of players, festival atmosphere. It was just pretty amazing. Some pretty amazing performances. It just wow. And
Yeah, true that.
well, they started out with Liam Gallagher. He's who's with.
Oasis.
Oasis, of course. I believe he's a monobrow, isn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty
Or his
much. Yeah.
brother, one of them is. He came out, did a few songs, and
He
Josh.
is. Yeah.
Well, you see, I was in and out all day because the structure, the privacy structure surrounding my compound had a few flaws in it. I had to work on it, so I had to
Shores and whatnot. Sure.
I shore it up. Well, look at here. I actually tore my bicep, man. How about that? That's a hard work. That's Labor Day work there, my friend. But in
You
any
deserve
case,
a day off.
yeah, I got a day off, my man. But they had Josh
Josh Homme, yeah.
Oh man, he was excellent.
Yeah, he's very good.
quite a bit.
He's done a lot of things. He's obviously Queens of the Stone Age.
Sure.
He did a project with Iggy Pop.
Yes, he did.
Him and his crew did.
Yeah.
It's great album. Great album. He's on with them Crooked Vultures with Dave Grohl and John Paul Jones.
They played. Yeah, they also played there. It was just a whole bunch of people. I came in when Wolfgang and Justin Hawkins played those two Van Halen songs.
Yeah,
that was just amazing.
Note for note, had the tone down.
Hot for teacher.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, Daddy's got to be proud.
I'm on fire. One of my favorites from the first album that doesn't get a whole lot of play. That was very cool.
And Dave Grohl's, I believe, daughter Violet. She played quite a bit out there, sang and whatnot. I imagine. Pretenders, wow, Pretenders with Dave.
Pretenders put on a great set. She came out looking just great. I don't know how old she is now. Chrissy Hine, got to be 70 or pushing it.
I'm imagine, yeah.
Pushing
she's a few
70
years older
maybe.
than me. Yeah.
And just looking great and sounding great. Did 3 songs off the first album. Just one of the great landmark albums of all time. I love it.
Ended with Brass in Pocket.
Ended up Brass in Pocket.
So to end it. And after her, the James Gang. I'll be darned. Legendary James Gang came out with Grohl. They did Walk Away. They did The Bomber, which if anybody knows the James Gang, that's a great.
Yeah, he did kind of a medley of a couple of James Gang tunes there.
Mm-hmm.
And then
ended with Grohl on Funk 49.
Of course, Funk 49, yeah.
So again, I went out, worked, messed up my body, came back in, and I saw Brian Johnson up there jamming
with Lars Ulrich from Metallica on drums.
Jamming some
cool.
AC/DC. That was really pretty excellent. And and again, I missed it. My sister actually messaged me when I was out busting my butt, hey, Grohl's in there playing with Rush. And sure enough, yeah, Rush and Dave Grohl. I did part one of 2112 and Working Man, and it's just amazing. Just it was really impressive, I must say. It was quite a impressive deal for a drummer. Let's face it, a drummer.
Yeah,
It's not,
quite a gathering of yeah. I was surprised. Yeah, I saw the Pretenders, kind of where I came in at, and then I think James Gang followed. There may have been somebody else in between there. I don't know, but James Gang came on, and yeah, we reported that a few episodes back that they were doing a one-off reunion for
right,
Ohio veterans,
right.
and so I guess they, hey, let's
More
let's
than a
do this
one-off.
thing too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And McCartney came out apparently. I'm sorry, did
Yeah.
I cut you off?
No, I'm saying, yeah, saying watching James Gang, it became clear to me why Joe Walsh is doing this. He couldn't do the things that he was doing with the Eagles,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and just having those extended jams and just doing what kind of what Joe Walsh wants to do. He wouldn't be able to. He's kind of
Like I said,
structured a little bit with the Eagles. So
like I said before, give a listen to James Gang Live, and you'll see why. What Doc just said, you'll see why on James Gang Live. He plays the organ and just
yeah.
a magnificent,
I wonder.
songs.
It reminds me of a situation. Oh, guys, going back 15 years or so now. But when Iggy Pop got back with the Stooges and they reunited, and it started off, he was just doing a solo thing and kind of wanted to get guys that sounded like the Stooges. And it's like, well, why don't I? They're not doing anything. It's not like they're curing cancer or anything. Let me see,
Right, right.
and so yeah, got them back together and did the reunion. I kind of wonder if that was kind of the thing here with James Gang, where he kind of wanted
Isn't that the
to
one
get
we
some
saw?
guys like back in the old days. And yeah,
We
we
saw the
saw
Stooges,
back
yeah,
then
yeah.
with the original with the Ashton brothers.
Right.
God rest their souls. Yeah,
Oh, that was
but,
crazy cool. Crazy cool.
yeah.
That was
But
wild.
yeah, and then they had Foo Fighters came out and started off. Had Travis Barker from Blink 182 was on the drums.
Sure.
Played for a while, and then came out a young lady. I don't want to get her name wrong here. Nandy Bushell.
Nandy
But if you
Bushell,
don't, yeah. If you don't know her story, she's 12 years old, young upcoming drum virtuoso, I suppose. And there was a internet back and forth between her and Dave Grohl, kind of a challenge to a drum off kind of situation where Grohl ended up conceding to her, and very very Dave Grohl like,
Sure.
something very much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sure.
And
sure.
so she got a lot of a little bit going on with her about that. So she filled in for I don't know, one or two songs. I think at least two songs.
They got her here doing Learning to Fly.
Okay. Yeah. At least, yeah. Okay. And then came out Taylor Hawkins' son Shane, 16-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And they did My Hero, and I'm sure there wasn't a dry eye in the house, but I'm sure it was pretty touching moment.
One of the quite honestly, one of the highlights to me was Sam Ryder when he came out and sang Queen's "Someone to Love," somebody to love. He was like an internet star, and somebody pointed out to Roger Dean, the drummer at Queen, showed him on the internet. Look at this guy sing this song.
Roger Taylor.
So they had him, Roger Taylor. They had him come out and sing it, and he did magnificently. Yeah, so
I saw a clip of that. He seemed very excited to be there.
He did.
Yeah. So,
so that was very cool, very cool. So
yeah, it was like kind of all obviously Taylor Hawkins very very popular, made a lot of friends in the industry, and coming out show people that he idolized. Like you said, Roger Taylor, guys from Queen, and ended up becoming friends with him. So pretty cool, but. Again, as you said, it's kind of odd having two big. I mean, the only other time I can remember a real big tribute concert like this was Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Have there been others? I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
No, this is really
and that
unique.
this was 30 years ago. Now this one's going to be two. There's that one that happened yesterday, and one at the end of the month in Los Angeles. So
wow.
It kind of speaks to Taylor Hawkins' popularity, I suppose, but I think it also speaks to Dave Grohl's pull. I suppose, in the industry to get something like that done. But yeah, it was great to watch. Kind of like I said, kind of popping in and out, and kind of going getting stuff done and watching it throughout the day and catching up on the highlights later and stuff. But
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
very very cool event. Very
Very
cool.
cool. Exactly. And now here we go. Our favorite guy to just, I don't know what's up with him. There, that's a great picture of him, isn't it? Ozzy. I know
Yeah.
I had to do that. Yeah, the Aussies are making a return to reality TV with a new docuseries titled Home to Roost. For crying out loud. You know, he's got he's got all the neck and back issues. He's got Parkinson's. Why
Yeah.
not just call it a career and
Yeah, he's
really
got the new
bow
album
down
coming out.
gracefully?
Yeah, he's got the new album coming out this week, I guess, on the 9 patient number 9 coming out on
Yeah.
9/9.
Oh boy.
Whatever.
But
But
yeah, jeez.
so it just seems like to be a big push on that. There's a lot of people playing on the album. He's got Clapton and Beck and Tony Iommi and just tons of
Right.
people. Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers and Robert from Metallica and just tons of people. But and now, yeah, kind of pulling this stunt. I think it's all the tie in with the promotion of the album and just kind of making one big last push to this is probably his last big big shot.
He's doing a halftime show for the first
Yeah,
NFL game,
yeah.
and then he's bugging out from this terrible, violent country, heading back to Europe, to England, and and doing another show. Jeez.
Yeah,
When
doing a
is
show
enough enough?
on the BBC calling Home to Roost. Yeah, and it'll be all about their move, and it'll be just like the one that they had back in the early 2000s. Just pretty much Amy won't be part of it. Jack and Kelly will be. And,
Oh, brother.
yeah.
As they attempt to restart their lives in rural Buckinghamshire. The series will follow the Osbournes as they celebrate one of their most important years yet, with everything from Sharon's 70th birthday to Kelly's soon-to-be-born baby, Ozzy's tour, and of course, the big move itself. Enough, Ozzy. Why don't you just retire? It's got to be Sharon pushing him. I don't know. He's probably
Yeah, I kind of get that impression too.
He's probably like a certain somebody who doesn't know what the hell he's doing and whose wife is basically leading him around by his hand. I'll leave it at that. But he just seems like, why would he want to do this at this point? He's filthy rich.
I listen to interviews with him over the years. He's always kind of felt like he had his great album, his Sergeant Pepper's in him, and I don't know. Maybe he just keeps trying to search for that.
But all the TV stuff, I don't know. At least they have one sane person in that family. What's her name? Who's not even on any of the TV programs?
Yeah, Amy, the daughter Amy.
Yeah.
And she's an artist in her own right. She's a musical artist in her own right. It's very kind of
in her own right. You don't hear about her on these stupid shows, so she's on her own path, and good for her for crying out loud, Ozzy.
Yeah.
When is enough enough? Swear to gosh.
Yeah, and then he's doing the halftime show for opening game of the NFL on Thursday night. So the Rams and the Bills, and we'll see how that goes.
Brother, because I see him.
That's the way to do it. It's going to be a large audience, and he's kicking off his album. I mean,
I see him walking with a cane, man.
Great marketing.
I see him walking with a cane for crying out loud. It's just okay. We'll see what happens. Maybe they have enough drugs to pump him to get him to perform. We've been talking about a lot of groups have been a lot of cancellations. In all respects, just amazing the amount of cancellations that have been going on. It's very odd. I haven't seen a year yet when we've seen so many various cancellations. And sure enough, here we go. Our brothers in Anthrax, they've canceled their entire continental European tour this fall. Which wow, Anthrax of all people. They're going to be kicking it off September 22nd. In Birmingham, United Kingdom, and wrapping it up in Milan, Italy. But they said, sadly, this is a quote from them, sadly, due to the ongoing logistical issues and 2022 costs that are out of control, we have no other option but to cancel the European leg of our upcoming 2022. That's, wow. Well, you look at the energy prices over there are already out of control. So I imagine just getting around itself would be crazy. Yeah,
Yeah. From what I've seen on it, I'm trying to kind of look for some specifics, and really all I found was that tour bus costs were doubled or tripled. So yeah, I'm sure with what's going on over there in the Ukraine and it's affecting their economy and especially fuel. So yeah, they're keeping the UK part of the tour. They're doing the UK, but the rest of the Europe will not see Anthrax this year. So
that's a bummer. Anthrax. What a shame. Here we go. Yeah, you know this lovely lad, don't you?
oh yeah,
Uh, D. Schneider. D. Schneider. He come out. Yeah, I could give or take D. Schneider. He's a good character. He played a major part in the censorship issue with
yeah, in the
Al Gore's
PMRC
yeah.
hearings, yeah.
So good for him on that. But and he was talking about Black Veil Brides. I mean, you've heard of them. And they
Yeah. They've been around for a while.
they
Yeah,
had to cancel their show August 30th at Red Rocks Amphitheater of all places. Probably
right.
the most beautiful concert venue in America, hands down. Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, due to technical issues, and it turns out that their equipment didn't show up. And I'm wondering if
Wow.
they had Wade driving for them. God damn, where the hell's that Red Rocks? I don't know, but sure shit, their equipment didn't show up. So it was again a logistical issue. We're hearing an awful lot of things about logistical issues. I'm familiar with logistics, and yeah, when you're putting on a tour, the the
It makes you
amount of
wonder if the music industry is not getting hit like everything else with staffing. Just the staffing of good people just isn't. It makes you wonder. I don't know, but
well, we see that at every concert we go to lately. At
yeah,
our local Tinley Park Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, they only
yeah.
have one
Not
gate
folks
open.
not enough folks to attend all
Not
the
enough
gates and.
folks to open up all the gates, and we're seeing it everywhere. So that's not unusual, but there you go, man.
But
They
the D. Snyder involved with this one, the guy from Black Veil Brides. Oh gosh, what's his name? Andy Biersack. They've been around for a while.
yeah, they have.
They've been rocking for a while. And after that happened, he kind of took the stage and kind of awkwardly just kind of, hey guys, this is kind of weird, but we're not going to play. But we're going to invite y'all back Thursday night to a place, the Oriental Theater, I guess, there in Denver, and we're going to redo the show there. So that's where D. Snyder kind of comes in, kind of commending them on.
What do you do?
Making it up. Making it up. I mean, they didn't have to. I'm sure there's clauses in contracts and whatnot, and stipulations on the back of tickets, and that sort of thing.
I imagine it cost them. It cost them a bit too, and we'll be talking about that in terms of the cost of doing a tour and whatnot. That'll be coming up in the news a little bit later. But good for them, trying to do what they can. Logistical issues are they're not.
But that makes you wonder, logistic. But then logistically, they were able to get a new venue, pretty much instantly, seemingly.
But their equipment showed up. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Wade, hey, God damn it, I'm here.
Wade, the bus driver that's been sabotaging Corey Feldman's career.
Well, Wade, yeah, he drove around Lake Michigan, turned on Channel 15, and he probably had a good time at one of the truck stops down there. And if you're a truck driver, you know about Channel 15 going around the Lake Michigan. So I'll just leave it at that. Channel 15, yeah. But Ricky Rackman. Oh, what a legend in the metal world. Let's face it, the Headbangers Ball was that was everybody's favorite place to be. A headbanger, he really had a great
Saturday
show.
night, man. Oh yeah, I remember plenty of times partying with the Headbangers Ball in the background. I learned about a lot of bands through watching that show.
Yeah,
so.
He's on a very
back when MTV
fellow.
was MTV, but yeah, nonetheless.
Sure, yeah.
Ricky Rackman, right? He was the owner of a place called the Cat House.
Right.
He and a guy named Tammy Downs, who was the front man for a band called Faster Pussycat.
Yes.
You might remember them back in the
day.
But anyway, they co-owned a place called the Cat House. They're on the Strip, and it was as debaucherous as possible. I mean, just everything you think about that time period, and just all the excess and everything. That's where it was happening at, right there at the Cat House. So, so from there, yeah, he got onto Headbangers Ball, but he was not the original host.
No.
Originally, who we just spoke about, Dee Snider. Dee Snider was the original host.
What? Tell me more.
And I don't want to go through back my minds here, but I may be wrong, but I don't think it was called Headbangers Ball at the time, but it was Headbangers. It was the same kind of show.
Right.
And Dee Snider, MTV wanted him to host, and then he kind of did, I don't know, a few episodes, and they didn't want to pay him. Basically, they said, "Oh, it's good exposure for your band, kind of thing." He's in Twisted Sister; they're like fucking super exposed, So, so he declined out of that, and then you may remember they had Adam Curry. Adam Curry for a short time.
One of the original, I believe, one of the original MTV VJs. Yeah.
No.
Was he not a part of the original crew?
He was on early.
Yeah.
No, the original five were different, but he came on soon after. But people that may know Adam Curry as the Podfather. He was the first guy that had a podcast. He was really instrumental in getting that whole thing going and everything. That's kind of interesting to look into a little bit. But nonetheless, he started doing that. But if you remember the look he had at the time, it wasn't metal, it wasn't hard rock. He looked like a new wave guy.
New wave hair.
Yeah. So that wasn't going over. But then in step Ricky Rackman, and the show became iconic. Man, it was just very cool. That guy in the background kind of looks like me a little bit in the background of that picture. A little bit.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
Hanging around with Ricky Rackman a little bit. Yeah,
how about that? Oh, next story up. Legendary. There he is, Mickey Dolenz. Yeah, he's filed a lawsuit against the DOJ, Department of Justice, to get records the FBI kept on the band during the 60s. I'm not surprised they kept a record on these guys. Anybody who even mentioned how bad Vietnam was, bam, you got Herbert Hoover or whoever the hell was running it on your ass. Right. Oh, I'm sure it was ridiculous.
J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah.
J. Edgar. I'm sure it was ridiculous back then. Just wow, crazy.
It's it's a little juxtaposition, if I can say that word, of looking at things are today. You wouldn't imagine, bands are out there. It's almost a necessity. It's almost mandatory to be, anti-establishment and anti-government and back in the late 60s, the Monkees weren't alone in that, but the Monkees were, it's, I don't know. It's kind of frightening actually, but I guess he's been trying to get these documents for quite a while. And now he's the only surviving member. And it was the Monkees. They weren't even a real band.
Listen to this quote. The 77-year-old Dolenz is suing for the complete case file after a heavily redacted portion was released to the public. In 2011, that included testimony from an informant who attended a 1967 concert. What, were they planning on overthrowing the world with Hendrix opening for them, or what? The informant described images flashed on the screen behind the band as a left-wing intervention of a political nature that included anti-U.S. messages on the Vietnam War. Why not? Vietnam War.
I can just imagine somebody probably went, the Monkees, there's this wholesome TV show. Yeah, let's go, let's take the kids to see the Monkees. And then here's this anti-war stuff that they're preaching. Because they tried to be a real band there for a while. They tried to really say something and write their own songs and all that. And then Don Kirshner kind of I made you guys,
I made you guys. I can send you on your way. I made you.
And then they did the movie Head.
Oh yeah, Head with Jack Nicholson. Didn't he help write that or something? Some whack out.
That was a pretty sure that movie, but
crazy.
Crazy story, man. That the Monkees are still trying to get the documents about being.
See what was known about. Really, that's so crazy. Just good riddance. But more power to him. Go, Mickey, go. What the hell? Yeah, speaking of sourpusses, Dave Mustaine. Oh, jeez. Dave Mustaine. Serious. There he is. Every picture I see him in, he's a sourpuss. He looks like he wants to kick somebody's ass
you're right.
at all times. Really.
Yeah, he's pissed at somebody all the time. Yeah.
I'd love to get together and just say,
Ever since
on, man.
Metallica kicked him out, he just
Yeah,
hasn't been the
He's
same.
been
He just
sour. He's
kind
been
of had
sour.
that chip on his shoulder. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but he's going after the ex-bassist Dave
Ellefson.
Ellefson for supposedly poaching one of their songs, Kingmaker. And wow, that's an odd story. If somebody doesn't know about
Well,
it,
there's a little bit of a feud going there. If people don't know, there's
yeah.
there's an incident. Oh gosh, been over a year now, right? Maybe almost 2 years.
Oh, many years.
Where
Yeah.
where Ellison had some improprieties with a young lady, I suppose. And he's well into his 50s, I guess. He's
Yeah.
Gotta be
She was like
age,
18. So that
just turned 18.
Yeah, so
like
totally
he knew her before she was 18.
Right.
So it was like a whole grooming situation. It was
It was horrible. So they split ways, and yeah, I saw Allison quote or a Mustaine quote recently that oh yeah, he's cool, blah blah blah, and all this shit, but apparently things aren't cool because he's complaining.
Yeah, from what I've seen with him, yeah, he's just kind of I kind of like to remember my buddy as he was, but not the guy he turned into, kind of thing. And immediately after finding out, I guess he had done some on their new album. Was it the sick, the dying, and the dead? And I guess he had laid down some bass tracks for that album, and immediately they got a new guy from a Testament, Steve DiGiorgio, I think his name. Anyways, they got him in and redid them. Even though he had these, it was like he just didn't want the the ickiness of them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just didn't want the bad mojo, on the album. Just
I can understand that.
Said somebody else.
We'll be seeing him in a few weeks. I'm very excited. I hope he gives us many dour and snarly looks on the big screen. I'm ready for it, Dave. Bring it on, man. We know how it is. Life's a bitch. I gotta imagine he's fairly, he's got to have some money. So he, I don't know why he's dour if he's.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some, but he's blowing a good amount too. So yeah,
I have to look that up sometime to see. I love checking out celebrity net worths. Some are very surprising and some are not surprising at all. Like Dick Dale, the legendary surf guitarist. I mean, he was working till the end just to pay his bills. He was worth less than $250,000 when he died. I mean,
yeah, you see some of these artists, and not going off on a total tangent, but you see guys like I recently saw Gordon Lightfoot. He's like in his 80s and he's still out there touring. So you got to wonder. I
would hope he's got royalties because he wrote some great songs. So
yeah,
that other people I did. So
he's been covered a bunch of times. Sure.
Oh yeah, so Dave Mustaine, I can't wait to see him, man. That's gonna be a crazy concert with the Hugh Megadeth and Five Finger Death Punch. Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, it seems odd that they're the headliners over Metallica or over Megadeth to me, but whatever.
Oh, and here's an interesting story.
We may be stepping out early on that one. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, but the legendary Man of War. They're like the biggest schlock. I'm sorry, they're just like a big schlock band.
They're like a real life Spinal Tap.
Life Spinal Tap.
In a lot of ways, they kind of are. Yeah,
they really are. And they've recruited legendary Michael Angelo Baccio. There he is with his double neck guitar. This guy he can play cross hand. He can play obviously two guitars at once, and he's just he's ridiculous. But they got him to tour, so that ought to really be interesting. Quite honestly,
that's just the whole he fits in with that band.
And well, look at here. He says, you think two necks is nice, but what about four? There's his four neck guitar right there.
Yeah,
good riddance. But this guy plays. He can play just anything. But the crossway, so it'll fit in real well. With the legendary, here we go. Where are they? There they are, Man of War.
No loincloths there? No. Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. I will not see that, though, but that's okay. But, wow.
They are in the record books for being the loudest band. They
are they really?
Yeah, or they were one time. They could have been surpassed by now.
Yeah, well, good for them, and it's probably good for Michelangelo because, he's been one of those players on the fringes. Never made it big, but everybody knows who
Because
he
he's
is.
a
But he never.
novelty, man. He's a,
It pretty much is, and it's a shame because he's a master guitarist, but it is a novelty. You're right. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I can play two at a time. So what? Put out a good song that everybody remembers, and boom,
exactly.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. To
But
me, it's like, I don't know, just a lot of showy, just not a lot of substance. Just, I don't know.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
just kind of fits perfect with Man of War. I mean, that's not my type of music. I'm not a Man of Warrior. I guess that's what their fans are called. Man of
Hang on
Warriors.
there. Hang on there. There you go. Man of Warrior. And yeah, but
Yeah,
what
whatever.
Man of War, whatever. Good for you, cats, far out. And then next up, here's Fozzy with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, everybody knows basically that he's been a wrestler. And by golly, he's had to postpone some tour dates. Here we go again. And the reason, here we go. According to a statement released by Fozzy, Jericho sustained a bruised larynx last month at the AEW Quake by the Lake event in Minnesota, where he squared off against John Moxley for the interim AEW World Champion. So he screwed up his larynx on some.
Oh, so he's
move.
wrestling. Okay.
Yeah. And he's having to. I don't know if he likes it or he just has to pad his income because.
Well, they're not making
bands,
much. I can't.
Some of these bands aren't making squat. They're just not making anything. And boy, oh boy.
It's really difficult for new bands to get started for so many reasons. Just getting into places for, there's bands that pay to get on the major tours or semi-major tours just to get out there. And now a lot of places, even for their merchandise, are taking percentage of it. But Fozzy recently played at a venue around here. It's a small venue. I can't imagine him, making a really solid living off of that. So he's probably, that's the side gig, and then the wrestling. Apparently, he's still doing that to, live his lifestyle or whatever, and put his kids through school or whatever. But
a lot of musicians, have to do side things, which brings us up to our next subject, and that's King's X. There they are, legendary King's X. Let me just fit in right.
Yeah, we've talked about these guys in a couple shows. Kind of, just under a lot of people's radar, but well deserving of a good listen, man. A good, solid
outstanding
band. We're mostly their kind of time was what would you say, late '80s, pretty much, maybe sneaking into the '90s a little bit.
They had some songs on MTV, when MTV was still video based. And really quality videos, quality music. And here's the thing: in a new interview with a rock station, Rock 104.5, Doug Pinnick he was asked if King's X has finally become a profitable venture for him and his bandmates more than 4 decades after the group's inception. And here's the thing: I didn't know he's 71 years old. I had no idea he was that old. But man, and the 71-year-old bassist, the 71-year-old bassist vocalist responded, "No, it's never been profitable. We've never recouped all the funds that our record company put into us. Even the current label, we owe them a couple of $100,000 and blah blah blah. And Atlantic, we owe $5 or $4 million. I mean, this is crazy. They're one of the greatest 3-piece bands out there right now." And with a great catalog
and
of music.
Have been for a long time,
and they still can't make money.
And not only can't make money, they're hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in debt. It's you hear lately's been in the news about the student debt forgiveness. What about these? That's what people don't realize with bands. Starting off, it's almost unless you're huge. It is so hard, so hard, because the anything that the record company puts into promotions or anything, they want to recoup that from you eventually.
Dang right.
That's not just an investment on their part and they're taking a risk. No, there's no risk on their part. They get it all back. Yeah. So some bands just perpetually just keep going in debt because they never just reach that potential, I guess.
Well, let me continue. Everybody that's ever signed us has always lost money, and so we've never made any money off our record sales. The only way we make a living is going on tour And then when people come and see us, merchandise, touring and merchandise.
Right.
That's not, yeah. Not everybody is Aerosmith and Beyonce and all these mega stars that got
Right.
billions and personal jets and crap like that. There's people
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
really just trying to pay everyday bills. So yeah, that's a shame that King's X
And
is,
they have
has such.
crews and they have roadies and they have management
They've
and they
got
have all that stuff that
responsibilities.
needs to
They've
be
got all
paid
that
too.
people
Yeah,
that got to be
absolutely.
paid. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a traveling circus. A concert tour is. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
all sorts of facets going on, and everybody's got to get paid.
Yeah.
So, boy, you're just taking a risk every
Like I
time.
said, a lot of these venues, they'll take a percentage of your merch even. So,
God
yeah,
Almighty,
it's
that's
tough, man.
insane.
It's really tough.
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah.
know.
Speaking of, yeah, yeah. Next one. This is a dude. Metallica. James Hetfield talked recently on. They used to throw the Orion Music and More Festival.
Right. That was
And
short lived. That was what, 3 years,
two,
couple of
three
years, I
years,
think.
they lost their ass every time. Lost millions every time. Uh,
Yeah.
they drew like 40,000 people, and they had 2 days. They had Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers,
That seems
Deftones.
slim.
Well, yeah, yeah. Uh, the first one in Atlantic City, the second one in Detroit, and they just lost their ass both times. It's just you're not guaranteed to make squat. Hell, it's just you're throwing on a festival. You're taking such a risk. And
What years did these happen? It was like
oh, let
mid
me
2000,
back
right?
up
Like
here.
2014 or something, I want to say.
Let me see, 2013 at the Detroit. Drew 40,000 people, but they still lost their ass. They lost millions, and it's just hard. It's hard to.
Yeah, from what I understand from that, they kind of had it wasn't like a metal festival. It wasn't like a certain genre. They had a lot of different genres kind of being represented, and maybe that's maybe that's not a good recipe. Maybe splitting it up like that, people aren't interested in coming to a festival for the one band that they like, and then
Right.
there's maybe some plenty of people are opening up to other genres, but a lot of people aren't. So that may be a little bit of the kiss of death trying to do something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It just you can't please everybody. They just it just
Yeah.
didn't work. But boy, losing millions, what a drag. That would stink. That would really, really stink.
Yeah, it just shows, and we've talked about that in past episodes with these festivals getting closed up at the last minute. And it just seems like a lot of people kind of see it, it's kind of that gold rush. They see it as easy money, but it's not such easy money, folks. It's a logistical nightmare putting these things together.
And it's a hell of a risk. Absolutely. Just one hell of a risk. Oh boy. Oh, what do we got up here next? I think we got a little Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp Depp's gonna be joining Beck's tour for a while here. He's going to set off in September 23rd with legendary ZZ Top. How about that? That's an interesting pairing right
Jeff
there.
Beck and ZZ Top.
Beck
Yeah,
and
there's
ZZ Top. And then
Jeff and Billy Gibbons. That's some.
And then he's going to be joined in Ann Wilson will be joining him for 3 shows. That's odd because Ann was going to open up her ZZ Top when into the Chicago area, but she had
That's
COVID
right. Where they were at the
her
exactly
band
right. I
had
remember
COVID or something. And then Beck's going to be joining.
Collective Soul stepped in, yeah.
Depp's going to be joining Beck on October 4th until the end, doing 22 dates. I got to check that out. And you know what? They're coming to Chicago, man. Just so you know. You may have to check that out.
Saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny, he's fancied himself a rock star, but he was in the Hollywood Vampires with Joe Perry and Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And they toured around for a good while. And so, apparently he's got some chops.
We'll see if he's got some rhythm chops.
It's the same old.
Yeah, I think it.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's the same old story. You always, have actors that kind of want to be rock stars, and rock stars want.
We'll see.
Yeah,
maybe we'll go see him. We're
maybe in this case he can pull it off, but is it the Chicago Theater? So that's that might be I don't know.
That's odd, but nonetheless, we got to fill up our.
Like I said, rock stars trying to be in the. yeah. So we got,
See what
Johnny
happens.
Depp trying to be a rock star, which I guess, you know,
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
don't know. I guess he does got the chops, but it's kind of
No,
still a
who knows?
novelty a little
We
bit, I
won't know
guess.
until
But
I see. I may go
but
see it.
like I
We'll
said,
see.
we've always had rock stars trying to be in the movies too. So
Ah, yes.
yeah, I
Oh
remember,
boy.
like I said, rock stars have always tried to be in the movies, and it's the varying degrees of success. Usually, not too much. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
even going back to
Going
oh
back to
yeah,
the
yeah, boy, he was in
the
plenty of
the
movies.
beach the
But it's
beach.
always been like that though. Even Elvis. Well, even before that, Elvis. Right away, Elvis. I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as he first made it big, it was like boom, let's put him in a movie. And they weren't good movies. He made a ton of them. He made like over 30 movies, but yeah. And then once that died off, and then the early '60s kind of came along, and they were kind of trying to homogenize rock and roll, and before the Beatles came, and
You mean the
those
beach
goofy,
movies, right?
those goofy
The
beach
beach
movies,
party. Yeah,
yeah.
well, Beach Party, the movie, legendary. As I was just mentioning, Dick Dale and the Deltones. They performed in that Muscle Beach, Muscle Beach
Right.
Party.
Yeah. A lot of
That
times in
sounds
those
great.
movies, there would be a band that playing the beach or whatever, and it would be a known
Known
band
known
or
quantity. Yeah,
or,
yeah.
yeah,
Dick
or to
Dale was
be
good on
known.
that.
Yeah.
Dick Dale was on Muscle Beach Party, but also Dan Haggerty. You remember him, right? The actor.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He played Biff, one of the muscle men in Muscle Beach Party. I don't know how I know that, but they had a list of the actors, and I just happened to see that. I'll be darned. There's what was he? He was in it with that bear. I can't remember what the hell his name was, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nonetheless. And then Bikini Beach had Little Stevie Wonder.
Grizzly Adams. That was his name.
Grizzly
Yeah,
Adams. There
Grizzly
you go.
Adams.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Little Stevie Wonder was in Bikini Beach, which was very
Right.
cool. And the Hondells, not the Shondells. They were in Beach Blanket Bingo. That seems to be the biggest beach movie at all time. Beach Blanket Bingo. That's just the
No,
title
that's
itself
the
is
the
great.
the, the kind
But
of the yeah.
How to Stuff a Wild Bikini, the legendary Kingsman performed on that one. There you go. Louie, come on. I don't know. I'm sure they didn't perform that. Oh my gosh, the censors would have gone nuts. But
Well,
the
yeah. There's always
legendary
been
Kingsman, man. I'm
Well,
sure
yeah,
they.
there's always been movies where they try to get Rocket. I remember, not too terribly long ago, I was watching The Girl Can't Help It. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
seen that one. It's oh gosh, probably about 56, I want to say, but it was in color. And they had like Little Richard and Fats Domino and they got Gene Vincent and Eddie Cochran. And it didn't really kind of go along with the plot so much as
Oh
just to try
well.
to it was a Jane Mansfield movie. It was just a goofy movie. It was kind of capitalizing on the rock and roll scene at the time. And that's what a lot of these are. And then even when the Beatles started making movies, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't great movies by any means, but we watched them. I haven't
Well,
watched
the
them in a really
Beatles.
long time. But
That was in my era. I remember seeing Hard Day's Night in the theater, and I'm sure I saw Help in the theater.
really,
And back then, that was just crazy cool. Just they were so hip. They were so photogenic, and just it just had a shitload of spirit and act. They acted great. They were great. It was excellent. Oh my gosh!
yeah,
Yeah. So they acted quite well. That was quite an era, and the movie really it portrayed them quite honestly. The Hard Day's Night, where the chicks would be running after them everywhere. It was an
yeah,
insane time. So those
yeah. That's
movies are
probably one of
pretty
the better
real.
ones, actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then there's Yellow Submarine. That was a whole
Oh,
adventure in the psychedelia that I
very
don't even know.
bizarre. Yeah. Was
Yeah,
that Peter
yeah.
Max or what?
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, quick side story. Siegfried and Roy, they both passed away. So I just happened to come across their live auction where they're auctioning off of their goodies. And they say, suggested price, blah, 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 blah. So they're
Okay.
doing paintings and they come across a Peter Max painting and suggested price $300 to $400. I'm thinking, wait, let me get
Wow.
let me get it on this auction. But no.
Right.
Sure enough, yeah, it went for like 5,200. Yeah, Peter Max for
Oh,
crying out
okay.
loud. But yeah, he did a number on Yellow Submarine that was so bizarre. That was for the trippy hippies, That
Yeah.
was really crazy cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they just sort of enough of that, enough enough of this. We've had enough of the pink.
Remember as a youngster liking the blue meanies, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Eh?
that was so bizarre. But speaking of bizarre, oh jeez, if you remember recently, I mentioned the movie Tommy, which was interesting. Great album, great groundbreaking album by the Who, by Pete Townsend, basically.
Well,
And
everything by the
they
Who's
turned it
basically
into a
2000.
movie. Yeah, they turned it into a movie. That wasn't such a wise idea, I don't think. You know,
I don't know. It was entertaining enough. I mean,
well,
it was
well,
out there. It was definitely out there.
well,
You
back
know,
then, yeah, I saw it I saw it a couple of different theaters back then, and this was the '70s, and I'll just leave it at that. But it was tolerable in the '70s because it was pretty wild, and yeah,
yeah, everything was kind of experimental back then. You kind of
yes,
had, not a lot of
yes, they
stuff
were.
going on. So,
I don't want to
so
admit it,
this
but
came out. The album came out with 69, I want to say, right? 70 maybe.
no, I probably
And
had
then
it
the
in
movie came
'69.
out, and then or the movie came out 75.
Yeah,
So it been, Tommy, the whole concept been kind of being kicked around for a while, but yeah, and then they did the movie, and Elton John was in it, and Tina
oh,
Turner, and
just a
Eric
whole bunch of
Clapton, and
stars. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, some
whole
people in it.
bunch of stars, and
And,
it was just quite a bizarre romp. It's probably worth checking out just to see how bizarre it is.
yeah, I've watched it recently, and yeah, it was nice to revisit. Last time I saw it was, gosh, early '80s, back when I was in the Army, I think is when I saw it. And
Yeah,
yeah, I vaguely remember. But yeah, to me, the beginning of it was kind of, good enough. It kind of shows how he becomes a deaf, dumb, and blind kid, and and all that kind of stuff. Seeing his dad getting killed, I guess, or whatever.
yeah,
And the whole
yeah. That
thing,
wasn't good.
there's no dialogue at all in the movie. It's all singing, every bit of it.
And Margaret too. Yes. Oh gosh.
And Anne Margaret received an Academy Award nomination for her role in that. So
Oh boy.
I don't know what
Wow.
else was out that year off the top of my head. So I
Must
can't
have been
imagine
pretty
there was a whole
bad.
lot of competition. But yeah,
Yeah, it must
but
have been pretty
I don't
bizarre.
know. It was a very fun movie to watch. And
It's entertaining.
just the
Watch,
further it got on, the weirder it got. Though it's like he
but
became like some kind of cult figure or something. That's when I
absolutely
kind of
yes.
started getting weird. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely worth
So
at least one view. If you get a chance, check it out. A lot of stars in it, and a lot of music, obviously, and Keith Moon. It's worth seeing just Keith Moon. He's such a nut job.
yeah, he
So,
pops up. Yeah, just the weirdest little spots. Yeah.
oh, wicked
Uh,
Uncle Ernie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But very cool on that. And a movie that sort of goes in that same vibe is Sergeant Pepper's
I was
with
gonna say, yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, jeez. What, yeah, what's with that?
Uh,
Another movie that had a bunch of stars, right?
yeah, oh yeah, tons, even more probably. We had the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton
Big
were
ones, yeah.
the band. Yeah, they
George
were the
Burns,
band.
he was in it.
Well, George Burns was that was the only dialogue, I guess, just his narration. There wasn't really any, everything else was sung.
Oh, gosh.
And yeah, you had Aerosmith, of course, and you had Earth, Wind, and Fire, and yeah,
Oof.
just tons and tons and tons and tons of bands. Really.
And just it's it'll go up as one of the worst movies ever. I'm sure. It's just nothing to it. These guys, don't make rock stars be actors. It's in a way they're similar, but at the same time, when you actually have to get out there and act,
Yeah,
and
it's worlds apart, man.
it's horrible. And of course, the one of the most horrible rock band turned actors that ever happened.
Can I read your mind here? I'm
Please
hoping.
do.
Can I?
Please do.
Are you thinking Kiss?
Yeah, of course. Phantom of the
Phantom of the
Park.
Amusement Park. Oh my God!
That is so bad. It's so bad. It's good. It's so
Oh
bad
my
that
God.
it cult
I
following
had
type
that
of
on
stuff.
VHS tape, and I watched it. I don't know how many times. And then my ex-wife loaned it out, and I never saw it again. But
Hallelujah.
yeah, just that's the corniest, campiest movie that there ever was. I think pretty much, especially if you're a Kiss fan. And
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, and just hearing about it coming out, and I was like right at that age. I don't know, when did it come out? Like
Yeah.
78, 79. So I'm probably, 15 or so. Yeah, all right, Kiss movie. And then I remember being disappointed that it wasn't coming out in theaters. There was a made for TV movie. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm still, it'll be on TV. Yeah, all right, cool. I gotta make sure. Because back then, it's pre VCR. This is pre everything. So
Sure.
you didn't see it when it was on. You're SOL, man. You're never gonna see it. So
Yeah.
I remember begging my mom and dad, please, can we watch it that day? Can we watch it? And of course we did. And, what did I know? I was, like I said, 15 years old or whatever. To me, it just, seeing my heroes on the screen was cool. But watch it as an adult. Oh my God, it's so bad. And there's times you can see where they have their stunt doubles in there that don't look anything like them. Especially Ace. I found out later, you'll see in documentaries about it, where Ace was just, he just drunk and wouldn't show up half the time. And his stunt double, which was a black guy, would put on the Ace makeup and would, just be out there as Ace, It's just so bad. The dialogue was horrible. The storyline was horrible. Everything about it was horrible. But Paul Stanley will say it was sold to them as a Hard Day's Night meets Star Wars. That was going to be the kind of what they were going off of. But I don't think they quite reached that height there.
Oh boy! Wow. Yeah, good. And they're still worth hundreds of millions for two of them anyway. So.
Yeah, sure.
It worked out in the end.
If you're gonna be a band around 50 years, you're bound to have some flops, and Kiss definitely did with that movie, man.
Yeah.
But honestly, look on the face of it, it looks like it would be a great idea. Here's Kiss with those characters, and it seems like but they couldn't act for shit. They just it was just all the way around.
Faces. Yeah. Oh, good for them, though. Jeez, yeah. So,
another really fun one to watch. Speaking of can't act a lick, is watching the Ramones in Rock and Roll High School. Which is just the one of the campiest movies of all time too. But
it did have PJ Souls.
So, fabulous PJ Souls,
legendary from Stripes. Yeah, the movie Stripes.
As you remember her name? Yeah, I know that's a tough one, man. I shouldn't put you on the spot like that.
No, what is it?
Riff Randall.
Right. Talk about it.
Riff Randall.
Riff Randall. Yeah. Very campy, very very bizarre, but good campy fun. It's just a goofy ass movie. Horrible principal. Kids wanting to rock, and in comes the Ramones to rock the kids. It's just a very
the Ramones didn't have a whole lot of dialogue in it, but Joey had most of it. I don't think any of them had. Maybe Marky, I think, might have had a couple lines or something. But it was bad. It was really really super bad. But it's fun to watch, though. Just it's bad and just accept it at that and watch it and have a good time. Remember, my daughters and I watched it years ago together and having a laugh with it. But
good.
Sometimes Sometimes you think of some of these other movies, I think another one that was like, to me, was like, is the best bad movie ever will probably be Purple Rain.
Oh, boy, yeah, it's bad in the sense.
It's a bad movie,
subject matter, but the performances are off the.
Yeah, the acting, Prince can't act either, And I think it was just the performances carried that movie, and just the novelty of Prince being in a movie kind of carried
Morris Day,
Morris Day, there's some all right characters, a little bit, but the storyline wasn't horrible.
It's a spouse beating video for crying. It's all about.
Well, even him as him trying to make it in the club, and Morris Day,
and a couple of different lines going.
That feud, But
wow.
Obviously, he had movies after that did nothing. So that was his.
That was
shot,
his, his pinnacle right there. But that was good fun though. I really dug the performances, especially Morris Day, who is actually still touring. So, man, I hope maybe he'll come around Chicago one of these times. I'd love to see him because I imagine that's a great time. But that movie, campy and but like I say, the performances. Oh man, being a musician, I dug it all. But yeah, he can't act, but he can sure play, man. Just check any of his performances, and they're just amazing. So yeah, he made a ton of shit, like you say. He made a ton of money off of that movie, and so he figured, oh, I'm golden. So yeah, he made a few
They
more
did
that
what,
just
Under the Cherry
bombed.
Moon, and gosh, I can't remember. There's one I can't remember if it was called Sign of the Times or just coincided with that album. I can't remember, but nonetheless, yeah, it's kind of a one-hit wonder movie wise, anyway. But
Yeah.
you know, it's fun seeing your rock stars in movies sometimes, even
Oh
if they're
yeah.
bad. You know.
Sure. Sure.
But, so yeah, kind of catching up on the news a little bit. Little light conversation this week, nothing too heavy.
Yeah, we've got
But
a we got an announcement coming up. We're gonna say it. We'll say it next week. Where we're gonna be catching a legendary band in one of the outskirts of Chicago's not arena, I would say, just
no, no, that's a club. Yeah,
very big establishment, and I can't wait, man. But we'll save that for next week on that one. But we'll be looking to seeing we're not going to stop seeing concerts just because our summer concert season's over. We're going to be pretty busy this fall and
yeah, we'll see
winter.
what pops up and
Exactly. Yeah.
tickles our fancy as it needs to be tickled. But
Absolutely.
we'll definitely see it. So,
So yeah,
but
man, it's been a great one, Doc. Freaking A, man. Happy Labor Day to you and yours, and
yeah, enjoy a good safe one and
I'm gonna head
take it
on
easy
down.
out there, Murph. You know, I only see you
Yeah,
getting all beat
I
up like that,
well,
man.
I'm heading down to the local establishment right now that has some bands playing until for another 3 hours. So I'm gonna head down
Okay.
and grab a cocktail and visit friends. So it's been a cool
Yeah, I don't know
man.
if
So
the record stores are open today, but I may take a see what they got going on. But
so excellent, man.
nonetheless, it's been a good one. Thanks for everybody for watching. Really, from the bottom of my heart, man, it's so great to have some support out there, and we know these things take some time to get going, get some footing going, and kind of get that snowball effect rolling a little bit. But
We're
definitely
great.
appreciative of everybody that's subscribed so far,
Yeah.
and we're kind of new on the podcast landscape, but definitely I'm digging it. I really like. I haven't. I've been obviously about podcasts, but I've never been a user, I guess, a consumer of podcasts.
Yeah.
And since we've been on, I've been doing that quite a bit. It's it's kind of cool. I like it. So listen to things as you're driving to work or just out in the garage fiddling around or
Yeah.
whatever. It's so
It's the echo in here.
well, you
Excellent.
are
Well,
in the mountains there, yeah.
no,
And
yeah. Well, my compound is once again secure, so I'm a happy camper. So once again, everybody, yeah, thanks again for stopping by. We sure appreciate it, and sure to give us a subscribe and a like. Remember, we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on all the podcast formats. So again, we'll see you next week. And what do you got to say there, Doc?
not too much. Please comment. I'm sure you got some corny movies with rock and roll stars in them that kind of that we missed, I'm sure, but it's always fun to talk about. So that's kind of what we like to do. Try to pick up things that people like to talk about, and hopefully you'll check us out again. So until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.